guys, I'm back today with a layout for In Your Pocket Tuesday, and this is the inspiration piece, and this is a picture of the layout that I did. It is a one-page Project Life spread, and I just want to say thank you guys for having me back, and I hope you guys had a great holiday season. If you want to check out my channel, you can do so by going in the links below. All of my information is down there, and if you would like to play along with us with the video and this layout, that would be awesome. You can come over to our Facebook page, and you can post layouts using the inspiration piece or just anything that you want. We would love to see what you guys are making today. So that was the what is it called, title card for this layout, and I put that modeling paste on and I'm just letting it dry, so I'm going to work on another 3x4 card. This is a Lindy Stamp Gang spray, and I believe it's Opal Sea Oats, but I just showed you, I missed the title, but I believe it's Opal Sea Oats. So I'm going to put that down, and then I decided I wanted to distress ink all of the edges of all of the cards. So I'm using my Tim Holtz Distress ink in the Vintage Photo, and I'm going to I'm going to distress all the edges of everything, and you're going to see me forget like 20 times that I need to distress all the edges. So I'm going to stick things down, and then I'm going to pull it up, and then I'm going to distress it and then stick it back down again. So I haven't inked in a while, so it just took me a little bit, and I just kept forgetting and having to go back and pull things up. So don't do as I do as I say. Make sure you ink everything before you put it down on the page. So this is just a little happy fall card that I'm going to be using for my title card, and this is week number 46, and unfortunately I'm not this far along in my project life, but I thought this was a good page to use the colors in the inspiration piece. So what I'm taking from the inspiration piece that I showed at the very beginning is the little squirrels. They were in a little box on a tree, and I have this little squirrel die cut, and a lot of the colors I'm using, and I have some of the little Aztec kind of looking shapes that were in the blanket in the inspiration piece. So that's kind of what I'm using throughout this layout. And this page is a little bit longer than my normal Project Life pages, but I did a lot of mixed media, so that seemed to take it a little bit longer, but I haven't done a lot of mixed media on my Project Life recently, and I wanted to do that again because I was kind of missing it. So now I'm just sticking down that triangle that was from a Teresa Collins die cut pack, and I'm adding this Enjoy Life. That Enjoy Life was from a sticker sheet that I no longer have the manufacturer information, and it's really, really old. It's been in my stash for quite some time. So I apologize for not having the information for you. But like I said, that triangle piece that I put at the top is from Teresa Collins. This is a Studio Calico card I got in a Studio Calico Project Life kit when I was a subscriber a couple years back. And I just, like I said, put that Lindy Stamp Gang spray all over the card just to kind of tie things together in the different cards. So there is a close-up of my title card. And now I'm moving on, and I just showed you real quickly there that the journaling on the card was messed up. I apparently did not proofread it before I sent it to get it printed. So instead of just chucking the card, I am going to write the journaling on this craft little banner, and I'm just going to stick that down on top of the journaling that's there, and you'll never know that I had a goof up. So that's just going to get stuck down there. And then I'm going to work on this other card. I ended up gluing down that little memory circle. Again, I inked it with the Vintage Photo ink, and I sprayed the background with the Lindy Stamp Gang. And now I'm looking through that same sticker sheet that those little phrase stickers came on. And I'm trying to figure out what else I want to do. And I'm going to end up really just leaving this card the way it is and just putting some journaling down. And I'm using a brown Sharpie pen to do my journaling. Typically I use a black, but I thought there were so many browns and things in this that it made more sense to use the brown pen than the black this time. So now I'm working on my next 3x4 card and picture, and this is a picture of a letter that my daughter wrote about a veteran, and I'm just adding in this 3x4 card. I'm going to put a little bit of stickers from the Teresa Collins sticker sheet, and I'm going to use this Thankful for You, and I'm going to cut a fishtail in the end of it and use it kind of as an accent piece, just bringing that kind of mustardy yellow color throughout the layout. And I'm going to ink that as well with my Vintage Photo Distress ink, and I'm going to glue that down the top left after I get done inking this whole card. And then I'm going to add some journaling on the card as well. And I apologize for the shaky camera. It just kept getting in the way and I kept bumping it, so I apologize for that. I know that's really annoying, so I try to edit some of that out that got really bad, but I was just having some difficulty with it this time. Normally that's not usually a problem. So there is my journaling using my Sharpie pen again. And then I thought I needed to have something towards the bottom. So I'm going to take that same strip that I used, the Thank For You, and trim off a little piece and do another fishtail banner at the bottom, just to kind of bring that from the top left to the bottom right. And now looking at this, I kind of wish that Thankful For You banner was up just a little bit higher. I don't really like that gap between the flower and where the banner starts. But it was pretty stuck down, so there's no point in trying to go back and fix it now. But I think I would have liked it just a little smidge up. So I'm just gluing that down, and then I'm going to cut off the edge. And so now I'm just showing you what that looked like. And now I'm going to work on my next card. And this is where I decided to do more mixed media. So I'm going to use some of my modeling paste after I ink the edges. And I'm going to use the Opal Sea Oats to tint the modeling paste because I don't want it to be a stark white. I want it to have a little bit of that brownish color. So I'm going to go through my stash of stencils here and try to figure out which one I'm going to use. And I'm going to end up using this star one. And I'm just going to mix up that modeling paste. It's from Liquitex. And you're going to see I'm just using a piece of packaging, and I'm going to mix up just a little bit. I don't need a lot. And then that Opal Sea Oats from Lindy Stamp Gang. And I'm just going to pour just a little bit in there. And I'll mix that up, and then I'm going to use that to go on 3 different cards. And they're all 3x4 cards, so I'll show you that here. So I'm just going to move the stencil around till it kind of fits and kind of hugs the edge of that card. And I'm going to smear that all over. And unfortunately, the shimmer that the Lindy Stamp Gang has doesn't really show once you mix it, but I do like the color that it tinted it. Like I said, I didn't want it to have that stark white color. I just wanted a little bit of color in the background. So now I'm going to use this XOXO stencil that I got from a Scraptastic kit. That other star one was also from a Scraptastic kit. We got these as free gifts and when we order our Scraptastic stuff, so that's really nice. So for a long time we were getting stencils. This one is a Crafter's Workshop stencil, I believe, and just a bunch of different shaped dots and sizes and things like that. And I'm just going to add that on the edge. So now I want to clean my stuff up. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to do one more stencil on the XOs. I like what the XOs look like, and I kind of like it as this background element. And I'm scraping the last of my modeling paste on there. Now I'm going to clean up and let those dry before I come back. So now everything's dried up. And I'm going to start adding some more embellishments to these 2 cards. This is a picture of my daughter doing the monkey bars for like the first time. She has been trying forever to do them, and she finally this fall was able to do them. So she was very, very happy, and I was very proud of her for being able to do them. So I'm just going to use this little chipboard sticker sheet that says Just Dream, and I thought the colors worked perfectly with the colors in the cards that I chose. And I'm going to ink them up just like I have inked up everything else. And I'm going to show you guys the manufacturer of this. I actually got this chipboard sticker sheet from Tuesday morning, so I'm not sure if you can actually get this sticker chipboard sheet any longer, but I will show you the manufacturer and the brand, which is from Lisa Gibbons, I believe. Is it? Yeah, Lisa Gibbons, Wishes and Dreams. I think, didn't she used to be a talk show person? I'm pretty sure she used to be a talk show person. Anyway, they didn't seem to be all that sticky, and being on that glossy photo paper, I decided to use some of my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive, and I'm going to come back and also put the adhesive on the Just Dream as well. And then I'm going to put these brackets to bring the blue or that turquoisey kind of light bluish color across the layout, so I want to add those there. And just that card is pointing over to the picture of my daughter. So here I am just adding a little bit of glue. Again, that's the Scotch Quick Dry adhesive in my fine liner bottle to the picture and the chipboard. And I believe that is going to be it for this card. And sorry if you can hear my cat. Here's a close-up of my cards. My cat likes to bring socks up, and he's very proud, so he is talking and telling me about it. So you may or may not be able to hear him, but he's very loud. This always seems to happen when I'm on the video. Anyway, speaking of kitty cats, there is my other kitty cat, and the picture is awfully dark. I probably should have done a little bit of photo editing for it so it wasn't so dark, but it is what it is, and instead of trying to reprint it or anything like that, I'm just going to go with it. This is that same sticker sheet that I said I wasn't quite sure the brand. It has these cool tags that look already vintage and some of these word phrases. So I just decided to pop up that dream with some fun foam. And I just have this fun foam sitting on my desk, so I figured I'd use it. I still haven't decided if I like using it as opposed to using like regular adhesive dots like the Stampin' Dimensionals, which are my favorites because they're not real thick. They're about half the size of a regular pop dot. But you know, I'm trying it out, seeing if it's going to work. I want to make sure everything sticks, so hopefully it will be fine. And now I just took some twine off of another tag and I'm going to use it here, and I'm going to use my tiny attacher to staple that down so it's not unruly and going everywhere. And then when I trimmed that off, it left like little hairs everywhere, so I end up trying to get those off, not on camera. And I'm just going to ink all the edges. Again, I forgot to ink them all before I stuck it down, so I'm kind of trying to finagle the inking in there. And I'm going to trim off all the extra. And then I probably should have left this card alone, but I had these little scrap pieces of paper from that triangle that I put on my, my title card. So I'm going to try to shove these in there to add a little extra, and it looks okay in the end. I probably could have done without it, but I really didn't want to put those back in my stash, and I also didn't want to throw it away. So I'm going to end up getting it in there. And like I said, it's okay. I probably could have went without it, but it ends up turning out okay, and I'm just going to trim that excess off. And I'm going to think about putting it over here on the left hand side as well, but it's just not going to work. Now I'm going to use this is a Polaroid that was cut in half and it said processing, and I thought this was perfect because he is taking a nap, and I figured, oh, he's processing like his dreams or what he did that day. So I thought that was cute. So I just trimmed off the little extra arms, and then I glued that on the top right of the card. And now I'm just re-gluing this because I had moved it because it was a little crooked and I wanted it straight, and it came off, so I just re-glued it. So now I'm just stapling that processing, and those cards are done, I believe. And here are the close-ups, and I like how the XO background shows through behind the card, and I think it looks pretty cool. Next, I'm going to work on the next XO card, and I'm just using this little strip of paper that I had in my stash, and I'm going to staple that down on the left hand side, and of course I forgot to ink it, so I'm going to staple it down, and then I'm going to try to ink it while it's stapled. And then I'm going to use some of these stickers from the sticker sheet. It's from Teresa Collins again. And again, I've had these in my stash for quite some time. I got them from a Scraptastic kit, but I didn't use them all. So I was pretty excited that I was able to use them on this spread. I think they went perfectly. And I love this wood grain too. So I was real excited about using it. So now I'm gluing that little strip down. I'm going to add the ampersand that's on the wood grain. And then here's another piece that I thought was good for my inspiration piece, which had the blanket in the top part of the inspiration piece. And I'm just going to add that little circle on. And then I'm going to add this word enjoy, and I'm going to pop it up on some foam tape after I ink it up. And then I'll trim off the edge of that little circle there on the right. So I'm just going to use my tweezers there so my fingers are out of the way, and I'm going to trim that off and ink up where I trimmed it. And then that card is pretty much done too. Now I have one more card that I need to work on. It's the one where I put the little dots on with the modeling paste. And I'm just going to kind of collage this one up with some of the stickers from the chipboard sheet and some of the extra Teresa Collins pieces. And then I'm going to do a little bit of journaling on here. And this is going over the little bumps of the modeling paste, so I wasn't quite sure how this was going to stick. It seems to be sticking pretty well now that I've let it dry a little bit. But I am a little concerned. It's probably better if I would have used a hot glue gun, but I was being too lazy and I didn't want to get it out just to heat it up for this particular little strip of paper. So I'm hoping because it's in a little 3x4 pocket page, it will end up working out okay. So now I am just inking up the edges of that card, and then I'm going to end up layering a few more pieces on. So that is from that one chipboard sheet, and then this banner, sorry I'm a little off screen, there you go, that banner is from the Teresa Collins, and I'm going to add another chipboard piece to the banner and then a little word. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to that, put that down, and then add a word that says notes, and that's just going to stick right there on the edge, and then I'm going to do some journaling. And so after I do this journaling, that's pretty much it for the bulk of the cards. What I'm going to end up doing is coming around and outlining all of the cards in my brown Sharpie marker. So I'm going to start showing you that here, and then I'm going to fast forward to the end. And I just thought I'd give a little bit more definition. For some reason, they just seemed a little plain, and I just needed to add a little bit of something to them. And I like how this looks. So I do that sometimes when I feel like they're missing something. So I'm just doing that real quick. And then, because I couldn't leave well enough alone, I decided I needed to use some sequins. So I'm going to go through here and stick a bunch of different sequins down. The wood veneer sequins is from a Studio Calico kit, and so are the little pink ones. It was something to do with the sea or something like that. That's what the collection was. And I can't remember, By the Sea, something like that. It's an old Studio Calico kit. I can't quite remember the name, but that's where those pink and wood grain ones come from. And then a little bit you're going to see that I'm going to bring in, there you go, some of these blue, big blue ones, and this is from a Teresa Collins set. It came with the white, the pink, and the blue. And I thought that looked nice because it brought some of the blue from the other parts of the pages around the page. And I'm going to just add these in here. So I'm just going to finish up doing that. I want to thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys join us over on our Facebook group if you haven't already. If you want to check out my channel, all the information is in the links below. I want to thank you guys so much, all to the new subscribers and all the subscribers that have been with us since the beginning. You guys are awesome. You guys rock, and you make this worth doing, and I really appreciate everyone. Here are some close-ups for you to look at, and if you have any questions, leave them below, and if you have any comments, that would be great too. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye!